Yo, what it do, you two? And I really out here floating. All my niggas outside rolling. We gon' fuck that bitch, we posted. It's me and my big bro Rolly. We gon' fuck that bitch, you know me. She gon' shoot it like she Kobe. It's me and my big bro Modi. You know, bitch, we like Ginobili. Hey, listen, bro, that was a new flow. Like, y'all know I rap every time we get that motherfucker popping, but like, I really just came with a motherfucking and just had to do what I had to do with the vibes. Hey, we back though. And for real this time. I keep going through bullshit. This ain't here, nor there, whatever the case may be, whatever they want to say. I'm not gonna explain my life story, what's been going on, but I've been busy. But I got a banger that I feel is a banger. This video is titled Age of Ultron, Age Like Fine Fucking Wine. And I'm gonna say it because I don't get monetized. Long story short, you sure already know what this video could potentially be about. If not, my nigga or my sister, sit back, relax, please scratch your ass crack, because we are about to watch this right now. And yeah, my nigga, you know the vibes. Let's get right into it, Shreddy.
Age of Ultron seems to be one of those movies that ages like wine. The more time passes, the more its good qualities start to show themselves. Almost 11 years ago, I stepped into theaters to watch a film I'd been waiting for since 2012, shaking with anticipation, and 2 hours later, I distinctly recall walking out of that theater thinking that it was kind of underwhelming. The thing is, upon retrospect, I can tell you that this really doesn't feel like the same film I watched in theaters years ago. And to be honest, there's an almost unbelievable amount of stuff that I missed the first time I watched this film. Not only does this movie contain one of the most efficient, well planned out, and genius character introductions in the entire MCU, just the amount of breadcrumbs they left to tease at what's to come is insane.
How are you guys planning on beating them? Together.
Man.
We'll lose. And we'll do that together.
I hope y'all know this was referred to. I mean, most niggas should know this by now that this was referred to Infinity War later on. And also just in general, how they always went back to what happened in the first Avengers film. See, the nerd version of me coming out right now. So yeah, you might hate it. But I will never fucking forget that when Infinity War came out, this scene meant way more than it was supposed to mean. I'm not even fucking lying, bro. And I don't know if it's Infinity War or Endgame. I'm pretty sure it was Infinity War, bro. But if it was Endgame, correct me if I'm wrong. Either or, when Infinity War, I'm pretty sure it was that film when that came out, and we seen how everything ended, people were pointing back to this scene, bro. Whether it was the first one or the second film, it was one of the two that pointed back to this scene right here.
How the Avengers eventually lose in Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. Okay, boom.
You said we'll do that together too.
See?
And guess what, Cap?
Now this is Endgame. This clip right here is from Endgame. So that's right. In Endgame, they confirmed it and cemented it. Because people was talking about in Infinity War, how they had that convo in Age of Ultron. Next thing you know, in Endgame, my boy Tony Stark, who was sick than a bitch, he practically just said, fuck it, we gonna spill the beans. And nigga, I told you so. That's what he said.
We lost.
Or how this one line of dialogue actually teases a major plot point in Civil War, where Tony finds out his parents were assassinated by Bucky.
Did you know?
And even how Tony is the one who will save the Avengers and the universe in Endgame.
You could have saved us.
If you remember this scene, people were talking about this on YouTube
is
for
one
days.
of the main factors that led him to sacrifice himself.
Watch my friends die. You'd think that'd be as bad as it gets, right?
Yeah.
What's the worst part?
The worst part
Is that you didn't.
Y'all see how they leaving the fucking plot point? Like, bro, like he
Age of
said.
Ultron was an incredibly vital piece of the Infinity Saga.
It really was,
and
though.
for anyone who is watching this video that doesn't like Age of Ultron and isn't convinced,
I like
think
Age
a lot
of
of the
Ultron.
depth I discovered here will change your mind, because by the end of this video, it might feel like a different movie to you as well. So today, I'll be going over my favorite details, and of course,
And I'm gonna be very unbiased and for real. Like, if he says some shit I didn't know, I'm gonna let you know.
Well, and also, I like some of its humor.
No surrender!
I'm going to surrender.
But okay, before I get distracted, let's
Y'all
start
don't know,
with how
bro.
Vision
Marvel used
was
to actually be
introduced,
funny. I mean, they
because
still
this
is funny.
a masterclass in
When they do their
bringing
major
a new
movie.
character this suddenly. Keep in mind, at this point in the movie, our heroes are about to embark on their final battle. We're approaching the climax of the film, and this is simply not the right time to bring in a character most people watching this movie have never even heard of before.
But look, bro, I know I paused it. I know most people didn't know who the fuck Vision was before the movie came out and everything. I don't give a flying fuck. I know he got introduced at a weird time, like at the actual weird time in the movie, but when he got introduced, and I'm telling y'all right now, this is it. Look, I remember this movie like from the back of my mind. The moment this motherfucker picked up Thor hammer on my daughter, everybody in the movie theater was like, what the fuck? It was a funny moment, but it was like the nerds was like, and I mean, most nerds already probably knew from the comics in a way, maybe not, maybe so. However, bro, when I seen that shit, and I'm not even tapped in with the comics, that's when I knew this nigga was OP. So swear on everything I love. And I was a fan of him off that. No bull.
Now, everyone points to the hammer scene as the thing that
damn
made
near predicting the video
work. And while the scene was vital, it's simply the final step. Why I like Vision's character introduction so much is because it's more like an evolution rather than introducing someone completely new.
Why does your Vision sound like Jarvis?
We reconfigured
Yes, it
Jarvis's
is.
matrix.
Yep,
to
they
create something
reconfigured
new.
it.
Vision is made from Jarvis, and
Literally,
Jarvis
bro.
has been here since the first Iron Man movie, but at the same time, we never really thought or treated him as an individual character.
And now
since
look what
just
he had.
plays the part of an AI assistant.
Wake up, Daddy's home.
Welcome home, son.
Jarvis is more like something that's complementary to Iron Man's character, rather than being his own separate thing.
Jarvis, any turn now?
It's only in Age of Ultron that we start to separate Iron Man and Jarvis, as well as treat him as more of an individual.
He also said he killed somebody.
There wasn't anyone else in the building.
Yes, there was.
I almost paused the video. Yeah, this is when
Constantly
yeah.
acknowledging his presence
Yep.
and putting him in the spotlight. And
When they talk about
especially
killing,
giving
it was
him a
the
larger
AI bot
role
coming
in
to
the
check.
story.
Like no bullshit. I think it was
Protecting
Ultron
the
and
military's
Jarvis.
nuclear codes. I found him.
Hello, Dr. Maddox.
But even then, this character is overwhelming. Like, by itself, Vision as a character is just pure insanity. Think about it. If you look at Vision's creation independently and out of context, it's probably the most unbelievable thing you've ever heard. A living metal robot constructed out of a rare super material with a stone which holds infinite power is being built by another super intelligent AI, which also was made with the help of that same stone, which originated from a scepter from a Norse god, and now that super intelligent AI is trying to erase all life on Earth by lifting an entire city into the sky and crashing it back down like the asteroid which wiped out the dinosaurs, because that's the type of personality he has.
I think a lot about
Hey, real talk, I watched Age of Ultron more than once. Why the fuck do I not remember that shot of the city getting just... What the fuck?
meteor, the purity of them.
You can see how this all sounds like something a crackhead would say.
I lied, now I remember it,
So
because of the
this
Tony
is
Stark
where
scene.
clever writing has
What
to
the
come in.
fuck,
A
though?
trick
That
Marvel
just looked
loves to
different, though.
use due to its crazy, super powerful universe is to introduce new concepts or characters to us while utilizing things we're already familiar with as a foundation, making the introductory process much smoother and more acceptable or believable. With Vision, the Mind
That's
Stone
when
comes
Quicksilver
from
and Wanda
Loki's
came out,
scepter,
too.
which we've already seen used time and time again through multiple films and also throughout Age of Ultron. The tech used to build him was also shown towards the beginning and explained as it healed Hawkeye.
She is creating tissue.
And of course, we already know the capabilities of Vibranium through the countless times it's shown up in previous movies,
Very
as well
countless
as,
times.
of course, the beginning of this one. Because of the way this crazy superhero universe is written, all this insane information is understood and works without issue. At this point, the MCU was like a skyscraper, being built and renovated one floor and one step at a
And shout out to this YouTuber because he's not wrong, bro. It felt like now most people are out of the loop because they continued their lore through Disney fucking Plus. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love the shit out of Loki. I've loved I didn't watch it, but I've seen a lot of scenes from it's that one movie, Moon Knight. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was amazing. I have to watch it. And then they came out with a new show recently, with the Black Wonder Man. I gotta watch that too, bro. However, bro, you know damn well that y'all lore was built off theatrical movies, bro. So niggas was just going to the movies and that's how they kept in tune with it. That's why I think they coming out with Doomsday and they said literally it takes place after the events of Infinity War and Endgame. So anybody that stopped watching all the movies after that, they ain't missing shit. You see how they kind of, I don't want to say they retconned anything because they didn't, but it's like, bro, they kind of went off the little plot point because this was so easy to comprehend. As long as you watched every movie that was Avengers, Captain America, all the solo films, my nigga, you was good, bro. You knew everything about the lore. But with the Disney Plus, that's where they kind of fucked it up a little bit at. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Let me know if you think I'm tripping and yapping. Let a nigga know.
The problem now is, how do we trust him? This is a ridiculously powerful being who holds a Mind Stone, and he could probably beat up Thor right then and there. And as of this moment, we don't even know what his intentions are. So how do we know he's not another Ultron, the result of a very similar experiment from Tony and Banner?
I'm caught in a time loop. This is exactly where it all went wrong.
I know.
So once again, we see that same fundamental concept at play. Vision's introduction first leverages our trust in Thor and Jarvis. The Avengers are fighting each other over their disagreement. Nobody trusts the other side to make the right decision. Everyone thinks they're the one who's right and the others might accidentally doom humanity. Then suddenly, Thor jumps in and immediately all eyes and everyone's attention is on him.
Cause he brought that motherfucker to life.
Came in, broke up the argument, and chose that Vision must be created.
You helped create this?
I've had a vision.
Using Thor to put
Oh my god, shit! Yo, I'm having a nerd moment. Yo, his vision, I hope that the YouTube are gonna talk about it. The vision that Thor had was so crazy. Bro, I'm telling y'all, they retconned how Ragnarok was supposed to be, bro. And I'm telling you right now, this might be a hot take, but this nigga Thor vision was Ragnarok. I'm not lying at all. If you think I'm lying, motherfucker pigs is flying. And the way he depicted the vision, it was so dark and scary. But the Ragnarok we ended up getting was so comical and funny. But yeah, it was the best one out of the series. I liked Ragnarok. It was cool. Nigga, I expected that shit to be dark and serious based off this movie right here.
Credibility onto Vision's character.
If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking
got
about.
the audience ever so slightly on Vision's side.
Paralleled in its destructive capabilities.
Then why would you bring
Stark is right.
But that by itself isn't enough. Not for us and not for the Avengers. Because although we do want to trust this character since he's so unique and interesting, we still haven't been given a good enough reason to do so. We're teetering on this side of the fence, but we still need one last push in order to fully
we need some more
accept
evidence at
this
this
character.
point when we
And
watch
that
it.
is where this scene comes in. This scene that we so
yeah?
innocently watched thinking it's just here for some great comedy and humor that cemented this as one of my favorite introductions so far. They played the game of who's worthy.
Whosoever be he worthy shall have it.
Watch this, y'all. Watch this,
Whatever,
please.
man, it's a trick.
Well, please be my guest.
Every single Avenger. All
This was
characters
the
we
funniest
know,
scene
love,
ever, bro.
and
I
trust
don't give a fuck.
tried and failed
Top 5
with
Avengers
the hammer,
scene.
except Cap, of course. And
Look.
then comes the Vision scene. The
Look, fuck Vision. When Cap budged that motherfucker, everybody in that theater was like, what the fuck? And you seen Thor's face. I'm gonna rewind it, bro. Look at Thor's face,
to
bro.
lift the hammer, except Cap, of course.
Budged.
And then-
Look at that shit, look at that. His smile went away. He was like, what the fuck? And if you know what happened in Endgame, who lifted up the helmet to throw it at Thanos? Captain America. Listen, y'all, this motherfucking, like, Avengers, like, back then, they did the amazing lore of all time. Like, the way they wrote it, the way they did callbacks, it was the best of all time. And I think it's still going to be the best of all time when Endgame come out this year. I mean, not Endgame, I said Endgame. Doomsday. I'm sorry. Let's carry on, though.
Then comes the Vision scene. The atmosphere is tense, nobody knows what to do,
Oh,
and
yeah.
everyone
And look
thinks
what
this
Vision
could
do.
end quite badly. And then,
Nonchalant.
it's pretty
Look
much
at that shit.
perfectly executed. This one move makes us trust Vision, is the payoff for a bunch of
Yeah?
previous scenes, plotline,
Yeah?
and character development, and serves as a way to transition the mood from this tense, unforgiving
I'm nerding
atmosphere
out right
back
now,
to what
bro.
we're
I miss
normally
fucking watching
used to.
Avengers, bro.
That's what he's waiting for.
That's true. He hates you the most.
Now the movie can progress past this internal conflict between the Avengers and return to the main antagonist, which is
Ultron
Ultron.
introduction was badass.
With the benefit of hindsight.
And you'll see this same recipe of a step-by-step building
Boom this
process throughout
dumbass!
many other parts of this movie. A process which always seems to hit 2 or even 3 birds with one stone. Take Hawkeye's recovery scene, for example. This scene doesn't just serve to introduce us to the tech that will be used to build Vision later in the movie,
Your own girlfriend won't be able to help you.
Well, I have a girlfriend.
That I can't fix.
but also puts the idea of Hawkeye's romantic life in our head. An idea we were probably reminded of quite a few times after we saw what was happening between Natasha and Banner.
It's nice.
I wish Natasha and Banner actually got something going on before
You
she
and
died.
Romano.
Then, later in the movie, once again, another teaser.
Who's that?
Girlfriend.
It makes this sudden introduction to Hawkeye's family a bit easier to accept, since it's already planted the idea of it in our heads.
I can feel the difference.
And of course, this also serves as a payoff to those who manage to piece this puzzle together.
That was a good time because we're still a few hours out.
A few hours from where?
Safe house.
And yet another scene.
Like, and this from the first Avengers movie, I believe. Let me tell y'all something, gang. The Russo brothers are damn near the best writers if they would have just stayed at Disney. I mean, not Disney. If they would have just stayed at Marvel. I don't know why they said fuck the... Like, I get it because they made Infinity War and Endgame. They thought that was their final shit. No, bring y'all ass back here, boy. Fuck is you talking about? Y'all niggas the best directors when it comes to writing this shit, though. Like, the whole way. Like, the callbacks. Like he said, the YouTuber said that the breadcrumbs they leave in every fucking film all connected back to the Infinity Saga when we ended up watching Infinity War Endgame. Listen, bro, if you've been watching this whole time, please agree with me or disagree with me. Let me know if you think I'm yapping. I'm being dead ass though, bro.
Worth mentioning comes not long after this one, and that's the log chopping scene. This scene teases some pretty major plot lines.
Yes,
one
major
of them
plot
being,
lines,
of
yep.
course, how Tony's parents died
Yep, he
because
cooking.
of Bucky.
Yep.
Trust a guy that had a dark side.
Well, let's just say you haven't seen it yet.
And some neat little details to point out here are, for example, the axes they use. Each represents the character using them pretty well. Steve uses a simpler, more traditional wooden axe, while Tony uses a modern one. These axes very much symbolize their respective personalities. Steve likes to keep things simple. He could have all these extra fancy gadgets that Tony or his dad had built him. Instead, he tends to choose something basic, like his shield, and use his strength, wit, and willpower to compensate.
I can do this all day.
Cap will put his own life in danger without hesitation and is not willing to let anyone else sacrifice something for him, even if it means he'll take the fall.
I'm not leaving this rock with one civilian on.
And so, quite fittingly, he has the axe which is more reliant on its owner and their own strength or skill to split the logs effectively. He is what makes the axe and the shield effective. Tony, on the other hand, has a modern axe with more advanced materials and design.
Technology. Like, I get it. Once he said axe, I didn't even peep that until he broke it down.
Like Steve, Tony doesn't have any powers, of course, nor is he a fighter. He also isn't the type of person to jump on a grenade. At least, not at this point.
Yeah, not at that point.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play.
So, he uses his intellect to create weapons and tech to compensate. Tony believes that with the right planning and the right tools, you can get the job done without needing to sacrifice.
To lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you?
I think I would.
This from the first Avengers
and so
movie,
he
y'all.
uses the axe, which, like his tech, compensates for his lack of abilities and also requires less technique and strength to use, as it was designed that way. And like Tony and his armor, while the axe can't be made without modern technology, it doesn't rely on its owner to make it extremely effective.
I see a suit of armor around the world.
And this is the type of detail I really appreciate in this movie. This other line of dialogue, for example, is also really well done.
So we get to go home?
This short clip is often just treated as a show of strength, but really it goes much deeper. We know that earlier in the film, Wanda gave Cap a vision of
and it's saying, bro, I'm telling y'all, bro, he is fucking right. Age of Ultron is literally callbacks from Infinity War and Endgame. I don't give a fuck. Because these visions that they had ended up happening in either their solo film or it ended up happening in the next Avengers film. I'm not fucking trolling. That is what's insane. I forgot about this nigga vision.
The people he knew, the time he was familiar with, and of course, his dad's. So when Tony brings up how they want to end the fight so everyone can go home,
isn't that the why we fight? So we can end the fight? So we get to go home?
A flicker of anger and sadness immediately washes over Cap, as he literally can't go home. And you can see on his face that Cap wanted to say something here, but rather he chooses not to pointlessly argue with his emotions. So, being the good man he is and doing something in line with his character, he chooses to put his own feelings aside and continue the conversation with some wisdom.
Every time someone tries to win a war before it starts, innocent people die. Every time.
That's a real
and
quote,
of course,
bro.
as expected, this tiny detail of how Cap misses home was not only teased earlier in the film at the party.
Well, home is home, you know?
Can I say one thing too? And I'm gonna keep pausing because I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Cap, like, Steve Rogers have the saddest story. Like, imagine, fuck the superheroes involved or the superpowers. Imagine you were born in a certain time. It could be born in 2020. It don't matter what year, bro, right? Just imagine you're born in that timeline. You spend maybe 10 to 15 years living. You feel me? You know, this is your time period that you live in. You're loving it. You love the people. You got a lot of friends and family. What would you do out of nowhere? You end up in a fucking coma. You end up in a coma for God knows how many, like, damn near 50 plus years, right? You end up in a coma for so long that your time that you grew up in is damn near like it's like a past memory. Niggas look at it like, oh, that was so long ago. Whole time, that's the last thing you remember just yesterday, theoretically, right? Because you passed out, you wake up, and you wake up out of nowhere, and it's more than 100 years past. That's what happened to him, bro. Real life. Obviously, he didn't end up in a coma. You know, it was, he drove into like a fucking ice mountain. I forget, I gotta watch it, but it was sad, bro. He told Peggy his last words. He ended up damn near dying, and then that was it. The nigga woke up and he was in fucking 2010 plus.
So has a payoff at the end of the movie for those who noticed it.
You alright? I'm home.
Nah, no, you're not,
Finally,
nigga.
towards the end of the scene, we find ourselves in the same predicament as we had in Vision's introduction. Once again, there's this incredibly tense atmosphere where two Avengers are in disagreement. So, to lighten the mood as well as move on to the next scene with Nick Fury waiting in the barn, we have some humor to end it off and transition to the next part of the story.
Don't take from my pile.
This is the kind of depth I enjoy seeing in films. The kind that doesn't force you to understand it in order to enjoy the movie, but if you do, it just makes the whole experience that much better. From little details I can't ever forget, to hints for the future and even how some of these characters' stories will end.
Same fucking house, by the way, if you know, you know. That was an Endgame.
Blows it up.
And especially knowing what we know now, after experiencing the Infinity Saga in full, looking back into the past and seeing all of this come together makes you realize that this era of Marvel which we had was truly special.
Simple life. You get there one day.
I don't know. Family, stability. Guy who wanted all that went in the ice 75 years ago.
See?
Age of Ultron.
75 years ago, he went in the ice. Imagine that happens to you somehow, some way, or a coma. Nigga, 75 years passed and I haven't, mind you, you don't age. So everybody else around you that you knew 75 years ago, they fucking either aged or they're dead. Whole time, nigga, you still look the same fucking young little boy that you were or young adult that you was. Ain't that crazy, bro? Ain't that fuck, like, I'm telling y'all, bro.
Isn't
or
a
girl, by the
perfect
way. It don't have to be
movie.
boy,
It still
too.
has
You know
its
what I'm saying,
flaws.
bro.
But now I know damn well that if everyone gave it a second shot, especially knowing what we know now, more than half of those criticisms probably go away.
Yeah, this did get a lot of criticism when it dropped. It was held as the worst Avengers movie.
Can be solved
Not
by
lying at all,
taking
by the
a
way.
deeper look into the past. Just because the golden age of the MCU is over, it doesn't mean we can't learn from it to build something new that might just be
I'm gonna say
extraordinary.
something too about what he said about the golden age being over. Please subscribe to him, by the way. It sucks, but Avengers Doomsday probably won't work. Oh, this nigga is a hot take. I'm going to react to this video, this one right here, because this is a fucking hot take. Let me tell you something, because before we end, I do want to speak on Doomsday. I was going to speak on that regardless, because he said the golden age is over. I do believe the golden age is over as far as consistency go for them, right? However, I think they have one last shot. Obviously, Doomsday hasn't came out yet, so it could be terrible. However, I even said this myself, right? Let's say Doomsday don't live up to the hype, even though that's impossible. And let me tell you why it's impossible. The amount of A-list celebrities / superheroes that they have in that movie, my nigga, there's no way they're gonna flop. At least financially. Like, the way I look at it, look at that Spider-Man movie. I forget the name of it, but the one that had all the Spider-Mans in it, right? I watched it. A lot of people watched it. It was a good movie for fan service. But if you actually talked about script, it was nothing crazy. It was nothing insane. And however, the movie still did good, right? That's what's going to happen with Doomsday. If Doomsday don't live up to the hype. Where, yeah, the writing was okay, But motherfucker, it's still probably one of the most memorable movies just because I got to see X-Men and Iron Man together. You get what I'm... Because Doomsday better have damn near a lot of motherfuckers. And then Secret Wars comes out like a few years after that. I am telling y'all now, I know he said it might not work, and he might be sort of right because nothing has came out yet. I don't agree with that. And with that being said, if you've made it this far into the fucking video throughout all this yapping I did, you let me know, what do you think about the MCU at this current time? Obviously, it might be negative because of Disney Plus, but let me know if you feel like you still like it, if you're excited for this movie, if you're done with the MCU. Let me know, because now I gotta go hit the dough. All my money in my pocket, shorty, this shit on the flow. If I really gotta hit the back end, then you know I gotta call my hoe. Matter of fact, little bitch, let me go pass out the weed because, nigga, I'm serving that dro. And all my fuck niggas throwing up that foe. Okay, look, I'm really a certified rapper. That was my outro. So I'm about to hit the dip. Dooley J out without a motherfucking doubt. And, nigga, y'all know the vibes.